picked up and transported was not revealed. After being inundated by 2 tropical storms that submerged basements, cracked home foundations, and destroyed belongings, residents in the northeastern United States are being hit with another unexpected blow. Thousands of families are now responsible for financial losses because they didn't have flood insurance. Most of those caught off guard by Hurricane Ida and Tropical Storm Henry lived in areas outside of coastal flooding, making flood insurance an afterthought. USA Radio News.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Look for the free report, Crisis Cooling, how to make absolutely sure your meat, milk, and medicines stay safe and cool in any power outage. Yours free at mysolarbackup.com.
Hey folks, here's an almost unbelievable deal at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, direct from this week's Big Color ad. It's a sale on Blue Pacific Juniper. It's hard to find, just about impossible to find at this low price. Blue Pacific Juniper, not $8.99 or even $5.99, but just $3.99 at Bob Wine's this week. Bob's favorite special, herbs, regularly $3 to $6, just $1.99. It's almost camellia time, and Bob has sun and shade-loving heirloom camellias starting at the super low price of just $9.99. And yes, you can still mix or match your favorite flowering shrubs. Buy one, get one free. Look for many specials, 10 to 20% off, inside their old-timey greenhouse. Check out the Big Color ad, then head to Bob Wine's Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place for going on 70 years.
Thank you. It's something we want you to know at Seminole Feed Stores. We want to show you how much we care by having our annual Customer Appreciation Sale, September 25th and 26th at our 40 West and Bellevue locations. We invite you to enjoy $2 off Seminole Wellness Horse Feeds, $1 off all Seminole feeds, 15% off in-store items, and much more. Our 40 West location will also feature food trucks and a Grandview Clydesdale. Come see us September 25th and 26th with store hours at 40 West, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday. Our Bellevue location will be open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Find us on Facebook or Instagram at Seminole Stores. It's Seminole Stores Customer Appreciation Day. With a prize for every purchase, we make it easy to provide you the ingredients of a winner.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Thursday, Galen Enoff from Life South joins us. He does every day. You on your way to Gainesville, Galen? You there already? You staying in town today?
I'm heading to Leesburg.
Leesburg.
Today. We have a new donor center down there, and I'm going to check it out.
So 441 South, a little better for you than the 75 today.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. You would think you get a reprieve. You don't. You just don't.
No.
And there's no easy way to get to Leesburg. I've tried every way. Straight down 441. I've even went out, 75 to the turnpike, tried to come in that way to see if it was any quicker. It's longer, but to see if it was any quicker, it's all just a pain in the neck to get to Leesburg.
Correct.
Hey, speaking of pain in the neck, to me it would be you train all your life. You come up with your discipline, say your discipline is luge, or say it's speed skating, or say it's, snowboarding, a half pipe. You train all your life to come up with these, to be able to compete on a world stage. Then the U.S. Olympic Committee tells you, well, to do that, you're going to have to get a vaccination. You're required to be vaccinated or you can't participate for the U.S. team in the Olympics. You okay with that mandate from the U.S. Olympic Committee?
This is so far out in advance that I'm not. I don't. Yeah, I saw.
They got to be vaccinated by December 1st, or they cannot participate.
Oh yeah, in the upcoming ones. Yeah, it's terrible, and again, you see that all over the place, right?
The International Olympic Committee hadn't mandated it, but the USOC mandated it.
No, of course the U.S. did it. This is what we're dealing with now.
And the games are in. The games are in China.
Correct.
I have a problem. Yeah. I have a problem with the U.S. Olympic Committee mandating this. I mean, once again, I'm all about you. Just like you, I took the vaccine because I chose to take the vaccine, not because some committee or some body of government or some agency that I have to interact with required me to do it.
Correct. And I think that's the key, right? But again, we just talked about last segment. Our president is taking away our taking away the American dream, right? Is owning your own land, and our president is taking that away. They've made it very clear that your body belongs to the state with this vaccine.
If you want to compete for the Olympics,
that your land belongs to the state. That's where we're at. Let's make no bones about it.
Yeah, the state is much. The state is much more in charge than you are of your own situation, according to the state.
That's exactly right.
And when we talk about state, we mean the federal government, because that's not the case in Florida. Governor DeSantis is doing a great job in our home state, but the federal government, powered by Joe Biden's executive orders, are who we're talking about taking your freedoms.
Yeah, and by the way, this new attorney general is a genius. My son, my senior in high school son, doesn't care about much, but when I sent him the email that the school board sent out last night about how the COVID protocols, there's no longer this this contact tracing going on. So he was thrilled. He went, yes! So that means his basketball games can't get canceled because some dude in third period, got somehow exposed to COVID, and now half the class is out.
Right, exactly.
And by the way, it made no sense.
Well, that happened to Westport last year. That happened to Westport last year in football.
All the time, but it's happened to 4 football teams this season, right? This isn't and again, it makes no sense. It's the same thing like after a football game, the kids could tackle each other through the aisle, but they weren't allowed to actually shake hands. So,
yeah, they could tackle each other, sweat on each other, get up. Believe me, the body fluids that are exchanged between football players, you don't want anything to know about. You don't want to know about it. They can do all of that. Just like on the basketball court. They can lean on each other, sweat on each other, lay on each other. They get off the basketball court, mask on, no shaking hands, off the court.
Yeah, and again, it's just silly. And again, I get it. That's what we had to do so they could play. But I'm just glad the new Surgeon General of Florida's got some common sense. And I love the fact he said we're going to follow the science, not the political emotion of the day. I thought his press conference was dead on. So
I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
good.
but let's be clear. This is our society right now. Is that our freedoms? And again,
they're under assault.
Every crisis, absolutely every crisis, they're taking every opportunity to remove our freedoms. And again, I think it's crystallized by the fact that if you come over the Rio Grande and enter the United States that way, you don't need a vaccine. But if you come in any other way, or if you want to actually work in this country, you need a vaccination. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
I wonder how many of the people I wonder how many people that are going on that bus ride from Texas to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that was just announced on the national news that illegal aliens are being bussed into Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I wonder how many of them have been given a COVID test and been quarantined for 14 days.
Did you say? I read the report and they say, well, they check them. They do they check for symptoms. Oh, okay. But if I was to do the exact same thing, you'd stick a Q-tip 6 inches up into my brain and rub it around and make me do that twice. So, yeah, that seems right.
Well,
that somebody who's not a part of this country has more rights in this country than I do. That's fair.
I knew there was a quote during this whole time where we've been talking about the difference between freedom and safety. If you give up freedom for safety, they would have never stormed the beaches in Normandy because that wasn't a safe thing to do. I always knew there was a quote by Benjamin Franklin. I couldn't find it, and I finally found it. This is Benjamin Franklin. This is Benjamin Franklin back in 1775 when he's talking about people go, yeah, but if we declare independence, that's not real safe with their army and everything they got. He goes, those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty or safety.
Correct. That's correct.
100%. I'm glad I finally found that quote. I was looking for that quote.
That's evident every day. It's evident every day that killing a human being inside a woman is something we need to protect. But not getting a vaccine is the equivalent of becoming a mass murderer.
Yes.
That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's where we're at with our society right now.
So the U.S. team is being required to take the vaccines. Good luck to you, U.S. team. I feel bad that they're forcing you to do it, but okay.
You don't. Well, it's kind of like the NFL kind of did. Major League Baseball kind of did. They put all kinds of pressure. That's a company, and I think my feelings on the IOC, and I think all the Olympic Committee turned a blind eye to a serial rapist.
For 25 years.
I'm sorry.
For 25 years.
Is too nice a word. A pedophile. And then did you see the testimony where the gymnast came out and said the FBI completely altered my report?
Yes.
Did you? Yeah, I'm like, this story just keeps getting worse. And again, this is why I just cannot. It'll get to the point where I won't be able to watch the Olympics at all now. I didn't watch it at all this year. But I just can't. I'm stuck on it. I can't get past that. These parents thought, I'm going to let my child go live a dream. And the whole time there was this.
They lived a nightmare the whole time. Yeah.
But everybody knew. Everybody knew about it.
And by the way.
That's the sad thing.
By the way, this just wasn't on. It happened in gymnastics. But you can go back and look up USA Swimming. And there was a coach.
Sure.
There was a coach in Atlanta that I know. I know this because I have firsthand knowledge. There was a coach in Atlanta, and you go look it up. It was at Dynamo Swim Club. He ended up being one of the top 3 people at USA Swimming, and he would pray. His favorite type were the 16 and 17-year-old girls. They were almost adults, so they were coming into their womanhood, and he would take special interest in them as their special coach, and then he would try to take them out to dinner, and he'd start with giving him a quick kiss goodnight when he would drop him back off and stuff. And I know this to be fact because at one time in my life, as a senior in high school, I dated a world-class distance swimmer who swam for that Dynamo Club, who swam in the Olympics and the Goodwill Games. And she was one of the people that testified against him once it all came out about 8 or 9 years ago, and he was disgraced. So this wasn't just in gymnastics. This was systemic of the whole, across the board in some cases of the Olympic Committee in different sports where women were just there under the tutelage of men who took advantage of their parents saying, yeah, here's my daughter, do with her what you will, make her an Olympic champion. And it was just, it's sickening, some of the things that happened.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, and again, as a parent, your child has this special skill, and it becomes their dream. But we've seen it in all sports. Heck, we saw it in Boy Scouts. We see it in the churches. I mean, the ones that really get me. The ones that get me are when other adults turned a blind eye to it. Whether it's Joe Paterno, whether it's USA Gymnastics, whether it's the Catholic Church. Boy Scouts, they even have so much evidence of that they felt that the crime was less than the scandal that would come from the crime. That's the part that really gets me. That's the part that's like, okay, you just didn't want the embarrassment, so you let it go.
And look, I'm a practicing Catholic, and will tell you that the church screwed the pooch on that one, pun intended. The church messed that whole thing up. And the thing was, the Archdiocese of Boston was the one that's like the poster child of how bad it got. But let me tell you something.
Right.
We all knew at the church I attended in Jacksonville when I was a little kid. I was an altar boy. From the time I was 6 years old till I was 14 years old, I was an altar boy. We didn't have altar girls then. There were not altar people, just altar boys, right? And I knew that I didn't want anything to do with Father Bender. Stay away from Father Bender because Father Bender was a creeper. We knew that. The church had to know that too, because if 6, 7, 8-year-old kids know that, the church had to know it too. And he stayed around for about 3 years before they moved him to another church. They didn't punish him. They moved him to another church. So it was rampant, not just in athletics. You're right about that. And the fact that adults turned a blind eye to it makes it all that much worse. Hey, last night I'm watching my beloved Atlanta Braves, and I saw something strange happen last night. Adam Duvall hits a ball that ricochets off the glove of a Diamondback center fielder, Jake McCarthy. It goes over the wall. But Austin Riley, who had been on first base at the time, gets the second and thinks he caught the ball. So Austin Riley comes back, touches second, and passes Adam Duvall as Adam Duvall's in his home run trot going back to first.
Correct.
Immediately, Adam Duvall is called out. He's given a two RBI base hit. Freddie Freeman and Austin Riley are allowed to score because it was a home run. But Adam Duvall doesn't get credit for a home run. He all because Austin Riley ran bad bases. That just seems like a strange rule to me. Once the ball goes over the fence, it's a home run. I don't care how many people pass each other the base path and all. You know it's a home run.
No. I mean, it's been a rule there for, 200 years.
Yeah,
as long as baseball's been
it's
played.
kind of a dumb rule.
No, I understand you're saying that right now because you're a Braves fan.
The Braves won the game 9-1. It wasn't that big a deal.
There's actual reasons why they do that, right? So that you can't confuse the defense.
Right.
But again, there's nowhere does it say that a home run's a dead ball.
No, it does not. You're entirely correct. It's
not a dead ball.
But once the ball clears the fence, and I think that would clear it up. Once the ball clears the fence, why is it not a dead ball? It can't be a live ball. Nobody can throw it back into play.
Because then they couldn't run the bases, Tom.
Yeah. Once it's a dead ball, I guess you couldn't run the bases. You got to complete the path around the bases.
Correct.
Correct. Makes sense. But it looked strange to me last night. Just did.
I understand.
Coming up
I understand I understand, and it happens all the time. Like if there's a fly ball out into left field, and you can't tell if the guy caught it, and you're trying to go to third. That kind of thing happens all the time.
All the time.
I've never seen it on a home run. That's
the thing.
level.
The home run was what got me. I'd never seen it with a home run.
Well, what has to happen is the base runner or the batter who hit it's got to tell him, hey, man, keep running it. You can't let them pass you at that point.
No,
and
you can't.
More importantly, you can't pass them. So that's a base running error. That's just not paying attention.
Yeah, once Adam Duvall looked up and saw Austin Riley coming towards him, he should have said, it was a home run. Just yell at him or something.
Absolutely correct.
Hey, football this weekend. Notre Dame at Wisconsin. Notre Dame ranked 12th in the country, 3-0 going into Wisconsin, 1-1 on the year. Wisconsin's a touchdown favorite in this game. I was surprised by that.
Why? I think you look at in Notre Dame's big win against Florida State doesn't look very big.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Overtime win, by the way. Overtime win against Florida State.
Right. By the way, I think Notre Dame blows Wisconsin out.
So Miami this week plays Central Connecticut State. I'm a little iffy on whether I could take Miami or not in this game. I'm just iffy. I'm a little iffy.
I don't think there's a point spread on that.
There is not.
Is there?
There is no point spread.
Yeah. I don't think there. I think that may be one that they just take off the table.
Yeah, who knows? It's on TV on CSS, whatever that. I don't even know what is that, like the local access channel in Coral Gables or something. I don't even know what that is.
No, there's like 15 people going to watch that game.
Florida State welcomes in Louisville this weekend. Louisville, I was surprised by this point spread. Louisville's only a 1.5 point favorite.
I'm not. I mean, Louisville's had some real problems. Florida State, I think everybody knows they're better than what they've played the last two games. It's really a question of what Norvell can do. He goes to 0-4. I mean, just stay there.
Yeah, but there's nothing you can't get rid. By the way, you can't get rid of Norvell. Can't get rid of him.
Well, you can. The
buyout is astronomical.
Yeah, but let's first of all these schools have more money than they know what to do with. But they would just go backwards even further as a program. I really believe that Norvell's trying to do the right thing. He just has to find the right people, and maybe going 4-0 will force them to look in the mirror and say, "I need."
You mean 0-4? You mean 0-4?
0-4. I'm sorry. That wasn't even a Freudian slip. That was just a screw up. I do wish they were 4-0. But
well,
again, they're not good. They're not good.
They're really not good.
Because, and this is an important part of college football, is that it hurts admissions. It dramatically impacts admissions when a football team that is supposed to be great, and you get that great atmosphere of Notre Dame, and and your child who happens to be applying for colleges right now. That's part of that's part of the recipe of going to a school, is you want that big game.
Certainly.
Florida. There's things right now than Alabama.
Right.
Look what Alabama has done academically with how much they've risen since Nick Saban has been there, or FAU down there with Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
Just look at those two schools right there.
Look, my school, my alma mater is a prime example. When I got there were 3,700 students. Now there's 22,000 plus.
There you go.
And it's all because I got there 3 years after they started the football program back up. The football program, which has fallen on hard times recently, but up until about 2 years ago was a very good football program year after year after year. And the population of the school grew year after year after year because people want to be a part of that party, good time Saturday atmosphere. Speaking of that, Florida welcomes in Tennessee. This game used to matter. No, it hadn't mattered probably in the last 20 years. It used to be important in the 90s.
What's it going to take for Tennessee to become a powerhouse? As time goes on, the guys we used to make fun of, Tennessee's ball coach was at the front of the line.
Philip Fulmer.
you now look back and go, man, that guy did one heck of a job. Granted, he took over a pretty good program from Johnny Rodgers, but he was an elite coach.
He talked Peyton Manning into coming to school there instead of Ole Miss.
That's something.
That's something.
By the way, did you speaking of Lane Kiffin, did you see that he has like 11,000 followers on Instagram, and he follows one person?
One person.
One person.
Yep.
And it's Peyton Manning's son.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, that's genius.
So
that is genius.
So Tennessee's coming in 2-1 on the season to come and take on number 11,
Yep.
Florida. Florida, by the way, with the way they played against Alabama, didn't drop, stayed right where they were in the polls.
And I think that's fair.
Florida, 18.5-point favorite in this game. That's a big number.
Can Tennessee win the football game?
No.
Tom? No. I would really love for somehow Brian Maurer to get in the game and for him to throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and really put it in that head coach's face just because he wouldn't sign him because his dad was in prison. I would love for him to do that.
You have fantastical dreams, don't you?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. So, yeah.
18.5 is a big number. That's a big number.
What Florida offense comes out and plays?
Well, they say Anthony Richardson will be available for the Tennessee game.
Well, he was available for the Alabama game.
Well,
so I kind of. I don't know. I don't know what offense is going to show up. Are they going to be explosive? Because they were pretty explosive against Alabama. Are they going to be explosive? I don't know. It'll be one heck of an atmosphere because it always is.
You know, a game I'm very interested in is, and I know that means nothing to this area, but the Arizona Wildcats at 0-3 go into the Oregon Ducks at 3-0. The Oregon Ducks are 28.5-point favorites. I'm taking Oregon all day.
That line's too big.
I'm taking Arizona all day.
College?
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona all day. 4
Too
touchdowns.
many things happen. Yeah, too many things happen.
In a conference game, 4 touchdowns. That's a big number.
Too many things can happen.
I mean, I can see Alabama. Alabama's a 48.5-point favorite over Southern Miss. I understand why they're almost a 50-point favorite. But an in-conference game, Alabama wouldn't be a 50-point favorite over Vanderbilt.
Sure.
You know, and so a conference game, 4 touchdowns. Oregon's a 4-touchdown and a half-point favorite over Arizona. That's just a huge number in a conference football game. It's really, really big. Got about a minute.
Huge.
Got about a minute before we find out where the Bloodmobile is. So I give you this minute. Give us the latest on the Boston Red Sox.
Well, they won. The Rays have clinched a playoff spot.
Yep, clinched it yesterday.
I think the Red Sox schedule the rest of the play is cake. But they have 10 more games.
Yes.
I think we'll host the wild card. And Tom, this is ideally what I would love to happen is for the Red Sox to beat the Yankees in the wild card game in Yankee Stadium. As a Red Sox fan, that would bring me the most joy. But it would also bring me the most stress, and I may not sleep for 3 days. But I'm scared to death of the Blue Jays because the Blue Jays are so explosive. They could score 12 runs in the first inning, and the game is over. I mean, their pitching staff could give up.
But they can go. You could strike them out. You could strike out 10 of them in the first 5 innings, and then they could throw a 12 spot up on you in the 6th.
They are incredibly explosive.
Hey, Galen. Galen.
That's it.
Yeah. Where's the Bloodmobile today? Got about 10 seconds.
Hey, Bloodmobile, we're at the Walmart out in the shore, so come see us there. And as always, likesouth.org. Give blood.
Thanks, Galen. Talk to you tomorrow.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
With President Biden's open